Yeah, my money big body, my money talking. All nigga, I really don't want my money big.
What's good, YouTube? R&R Motorsports back at you guys with another one. Today we got another F30 video for you guys. We're going to be installing the GoV addressable RGB underglow kit on this for my girlfriend. And basically the way that we're going to run power is, if you guys look under the hood, let me put on the light for you guys. But if you look under the hood, where the negative battery terminal is, right here, there is a Torx bolt right here, which is power to the negative, obviously. So we're going to use this for power. And the reason why I'm using this is so even if the car is off, it'll still be able to pull power from the car. So if you want to run your lights at like a show or something like that, they'll always be able to be on even if the car is off. And in this car, it's actually a little bit different than my 6 Series. As you guys can see, it's a big ass Torx bolt, which is weird. I don't know why BMW would do that. Pretty stupid design if you ask me. So what you'll need is a T40, T45 to be able to break open that bolt. And all you guys need is what's it called, a normal wrench. You don't need any power tools to get it off. It's not on there that tight. So what I'm gonna do is basically, I think I got the bolt loose already, but I'm gonna take off this bolt, and what I'm gonna do is put the wire for the underglow under this bolt, and then maybe this one, or yeah, and then on this bolt, what is this? This looks like a 10 millimeter, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a 13. I'll put the ground under that one. So that's pretty much how I'm gonna wire it, and then I'll have it come this way. Let me come on the other side and show you guys down through here. And what this black thing is right here, if you guys could see, is that's the fender liner. So all I'm gonna have to do is come through the front, take the fender liner out, and I'll run it from there. And I'll show you guys the way that I route the wires for the underglow, which goes to the front and which goes to the back. Alright you guys, so I made it a little bit easier for myself, and I pulled out the whole battery cover. But so basically what I did was I put the red wire under the negative terminal right here with the 45 millimeter, and then I forgot my 10 millimeter. So being resourceful, I lifted up the battery cover, and then there's a 45 millimeter bolt right here. So I just basically grounded the positive over there. And as you can see, we got the underglow working. So now I'm gonna have my girl download the GoV app. I'll basically show you guys like a quick walkthrough on the phone of what the app and the interface and what you can do with the addressable RGB. And then we'll get to running the wire through the fender liner. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, as you guys can see, the car is fully off and the lights still work. So that's the reason why I always wire it up here. If you guys look on YouTube, there's some other tutorials where people wire it to the trunk. That looks like more of a pain. And also if you wire it to the trunk, it won't work while the car is off. As you guys can see, it's completely functional while the car is off. Another thing people say to do is disconnect the battery when you're working on electronics. I don't give a fuck about that rule. I never disconnected the battery one time working on airbags, lights, whatever, and I've never had an issue. So if that's what you guys want to do and take that extra step, you can do that. But as you guys can see, I didn't disconnect the battery. I just did all that shit with the negative terminal, and it was completely safe. So yeah, let me show you guys basically how I ran the wires too. So as you guys can see, there's a cover right here, a plastic cover for the strut tower. So pretty much what I did was I pulled that up and I tucked the wires under here, and then under the battery cover I have the GoV housing thingy. I tucked up the wires with the zip tie over there, and then like I showed you guys before, the wires are connected under those two bolts, the negative and the positive. So now what we're going to try and do is run it through the fender liner. So we got the wheel cut all the way to the left, because we're trying to do this the lazy way without jacking up the car or taking out the wheel. So we turn the wheel all the way to the left. We're gonna take out the clips from the fender liner, and we're gonna try to get it through the front. All right, you guys, I didn't get to record this, but basically for the wire that goes to where the driver's side is, and it'll take to the passenger side as well, we did it through the fender liner, as you guys can see, and then it comes out right over here. And obviously I'm going to tuck this up and make it cleaner. Right now I have some alcohol to wipe down the bottom before we tape it, and then once I tape it in place, then I'm going to figure out how to cable manage the wires. But yeah, install's going good so far. Alright you guys, so I got the front underglow mounted up, and I'm about to do the right side. And basically, let me show you guys how I wired up the front. I haven't tucked away the left side yet, it's still out. But where I ran the connections, the bumper's a little bit fucked up at the bottom, as you guys can see, from being scraped and shit. So I mounted it on this plastic piece behind the bumper. I think this is the bottom of the intercooler, honestly. But it looks good because you can't see the lights at all. So it makes the install look clean. And then basically on this side, I'm gonna have my girlfriend move the wheel for you guys now so I can show you. So basically I have the wire coming through the brake duct right here, and then I have it zip tied to the brake line. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more, but this is just like a rough estimate of how I'm leaving it. And then I had her turn the wheel like each way, and it doesn't touch the wire. So I have it sitting like that for now. And then I have it coming around, and then I tucked it into whatever this liner is over here. It's tucked into it. And then it comes out right here, and pretty much I'm just gonna connect it up wherever this wire ends to the side skirt over here. So yeah, I'll show you guys more of when I'm done, and then I'll show you guys how I wire up the left side and the back. Alright you guys, so I just finished up installing the underglow. It was really tedious, so I didn't bother to pick up a camera while I was under there, but I'll get under now and show you guys pretty much how I wired everything up. So basically, we start at the battery. You go under the strut tower. This little black wire that you guys see right here, excuse my hands, I've been working, but the wire goes here. You can't even really notice it, it looks OEM, and it goes through the fender liner, and the one for the back runs through the fender here, comes down. I think I zip tied it to the strut. Actually, I'll show you guys right here. Yeah, I zip tied it to the strut, and it comes down and under, and then it comes under to the bottom of the side skirt. As you guys can see, I have to tuck up right here with like some zip ties and some screws, just so it's not a hanging wire. And then it runs along the side skirt. And then the hardest part of this install would be, because I did this without a lift, would be running it past the rear wheel. So if I can show you guys here, I tucked it up under this liner right here, and then up under that liner there, as you guys can see. And then for all you guys with mufflers in the rear, if you guys have a muffler delete, you don't really need to worry about this. But for the rear, the way I mounted it was right on the heat shield, so it's literally above the muffler, so you guys can still obviously see it light up underneath, but the muffler's a little bit in the way because this car has the M Performance exhaust. But you can still put underglow on the back. You just have to put it on the heat shield like I showed you guys. And then I showed you guys how I did it through the brake duct, ran it through the driver's side strut, underneath in the liners. We have this side underglow. So yeah, this is how it came out. It's a pretty straightforward install. It's just tedious. So be prepared to spend like an hour or two on it. But yeah, the hardest part is just tucking up the wires, honestly. It's a pretty easy job to do, and it looks sick if you guys are into the underglow look. We'll get some shots of it for you guys after we're done putting everything back together. We have a couple things to tuck up, and then I'll go through and show you guys everything on the Govee app, but it's pretty much the same as any other Govee device. Alright you guys, so it ended up getting a little bit too late and I didn't get a chance to film any clips of what it looks like yet, but I'll be dropping a part 2 with a bunch of b-roll of what it looks like, as well as a full explanation of the Govee software for you guys. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and part 2 is coming out soon.